Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Shred with me, Mark Murray. Today, we're doing something different. We're doing something really cool that I've wanted to do for a long time, and we're going to go back and look at some old issues of Guitar World and Guitar Magazine. When I first started playing guitar, this is before the internet was really popular, so 20-something years ago, and you would get all your tabs and lessons through guitar magazines. I was a huge guitar magazine fan as a young guy, and I went back. I actually have a pretty big collection over the years that I've just accumulated, of course, been a subscriber of a bunch of different magazines. But I also have gone back and bought a bunch of my old favorites that have got lost, or, you know, ones that I remember that were big ones, that really cool articles and a lot of cool guitars in them, cool songs, ones that just stood out in my head. So check this out. Here I have some old issues. I don't even know if guitar is around anymore, but they were one of my favorites. These four are definitely ones I'm going to be covering in some of the future episodes. This one here was one of the ones I remember, just tons of riffs in this one, and when I was an early guitar player, these are the kinds of things that I really loved, the ones that had tons of riffs, because I didn't like to learn full songs at the time. I just like to learn riffs, and I learned like hundreds of riffs before I even learned like 5 full songs. And I would just rattle off riffs every time I played guitar in front of people. People thought I was so awesome, but it was just the riffs, and, you know, it took a couple years until I really started learning full songs. But okay, so anyways, today we're going to be going through Guitar Magazine. And if you didn't ever have magazines, if you're one of these younger people, never had the guitar magazines when you were younger, they always had a few guitars, song tabs. So this one has The Memory Remains by Metallica, My Own Prison by Creed. This is the first thing I would always look at. We got Pink by Aerosmith, Bleed Together by Soundgarden, and Burning My Soul by Dream Theater. 5 killer songs you could learn in a month. This is February 1998. I remember when this issue came out, I was a huge I was a huge Pantera fan, and I remember seeing him on the front of this, and I was really young. You know, I'm born in 1986, December, so I guess I was 11 years old here. And I remember seeing this on the newsstand. I didn't really know what this guy looked like yet. I knew Pantera, but I hardly knew him. You know, I just started getting into playing guitar and metal, and I remember seeing this, and I was like, oh, I know Pantera. Cool, this is the Pantera guy. Dimebag Darrell. That's how I read that the first time I saw it. I was like, Dimebag Darrell, because I was 11 years old, and I did not know what a dime bag was, and I'd never met anyone named Darrell, I don't think. So I was just like, I would never have thought that would have been Dimebag Darrell. So we're going to go through this whole magazine here real quick. The ads, all that kind of stuff. To me, it's so nostalgic. It was so cool. All that stuff. I loved every month reading these things cover to cover. I remember this one when it was on the newsstand. I remember reading it sitting in the local guitar shop. So it's got 7 ways to beat the blues, break your bad blues habits, songwriting with the Goo Goo Dolls, What's Up, Down in Florida, Matchbox 20, Creed, and Sister Hazel lead a new scene. Lead a new scene, man. That is so funny to hear that those bands do. John Petrucci's Top 10 Albums, Live Dave Matthews Band, Test Your Gear IQ, Reader's Choice Awards, 5 tabs. This is awesome. So, right when you get into it, we got Shrapnel Records, all their albums. Ernie Ball, man. They've been the best forever. I remember, it's so crazy. I haven't looked at this since about a year ago when I bought this magazine. And all these ads are so nostalgic. I knew I was going to be going over these in video, so I didn't really get into them too deep. But old PRS, I think this is, 1998. It's before PRS was making the guitars quite as gorgeous as they make them now. Let's see. So here we got the table of contents. I apologize for that glare. I had to kill the light directly above me real quick. This looks way better here. So, old PRS ad. Wow, this is so cool. Profile. So we got 3 to get ready. We got John Petrucci down here. Opening act, input. So these are all the departments. Every month they would have these monthly departments. Their columns. Marty Friedman had a column in here. Steve Morse, the dude from Goo Goo Dolls. We have Gear Factory, so they would go over tons of cool new gear. Oh, man. It's 180 pages? Jeez, the tab's a chunk of it, so let's keep rolling through this thing. Johnson Amplification. Some of these brands, they never. I don't know if they've stuck around. I'm not a Johnson guy myself. Spare a dime. We got some Ernie Ball ad over here. So this is a letter from the editor-in-chief. It says, a strange daydream has been running through my head all month. A young, well-dressed gentleman is at a newsstand and picks up a January issue of Guitar. Grinning back at the stately suit and tie photo of B.B. King on the cover, he buys the mag, takes it home to enjoy, and happily sends for a subscription. Sometime later, he opens his mailbox to find this month's cover, screaming in his face. Fear is followed shortly by anger. In the next scene, I come home from work to find the disgruntled young man in my apartment. He tears up a check, drizzles the pieces on my shoes, and then kills all my fish. That's funny. Obviously, this cover. Freaking B.B. King fans out. Dimebag Darrell. Tacoma. Whatever happened to Tacoma? Crate? They're still around. What were they doing back then? Pure tube tone. But is it real tubes? I mean, 5 preamp tubes, all tube design. Wow, they were doing tube stuff. That's cool in the 90s. I used to love this when, reading people's feedback to stuff. That's the original comments right there. DOD was doing their thing with their digital effects back then. I remember DOD, Digitech. They were like so awesome. All these crazy digital brands that people went away from the digital because it started to get way too cheap sounding. Or, unless you had real high-end gear. But now it seems like a lot of people are back into digital. Waking Up with Days of the New. Got Motor City Soul. I'll read more of the articles when we get into like the Dimebag one. I'll get deep into that one. Let's see. We got TC Electronic. We got Steve Austin. Stone Cold used to play guitar. That's pretty cool. Yamaha ad for the Pacifica. The London Suede. There's a lot of stuff artists I don't know at all and brands I don't know at all. Seymour Duncan, for example, I've never heard of this brand. No, just kidding. Of course I've heard of them. I remember this ad. I don't remember now. Looking back, I didn't know it was Seymour Duncan. Wasn't a big Seymour Duncan fan back then. The Invader, they got the JB, the 59, the Seth Lover. Now I'm a big Seymour Duncan fan, but that's cool. I remember this old ad. Got all kinds of little things all over the place. We got Puritan Punk, sees its numbers go up. Treadmill, Trackstar goes for the gold. I mean, this thing is packed with tons of articles. They had ads everywhere. So many people were reading these back then. Look at Warmoth is even advertising back then with the beautiful neck right there. Telly and a Strat neck. We got Rage Against the Machine. While most concert videos are lame substitutes for the real thing, Rage Against the Machine's self-titled release defies the norm. The band's new video combines incendiary live footage with uncensored music videos, often capturing the masterful guitar work of Tom Morello up close. The tape includes the band performing at a '94 festival in the Netherlands and sonically igniting 60,000 fans with fierce, socially astute rock/hip-hop. After being introduced by a 50-ish mom from Parents for Rock and Rap as the best band in the fucking universe. Wow, that's cool. So 1998, I'm trying to think what albums were out from Rage. I'm a big Rage fan. That was one of the bands that I learned all their riffs. Actually, Rage was the first band I learned a full album straight through. What's your guys' albums, your first album you ever played straight through to where you could put the album on track 1 and let it play straight through? That's interesting to hear. Leave it down in the comments. Let me know what was your first album you played through. That's pretty cool. This Digitech ad right here, man. I wanted these pedals so bad. We had the XP100, the XP200, XP3, and 400. They don't say exactly what they all do here. They all do have capabilities of volume, but this was the whammy wah. Then we have the modulator. So this has whammy and wah built into it. But I've heard that the processor chip in this isn't as good as like the real Digitech whammy pedals. This was kind of like a cheaper version or whatever. This is a modulator right here, XP200. XP300 is a space station, which I have no idea what's... Okay, so they've got descriptions that I could have been reading this whole time. The new XP series from Digitech offers real-time expression control of today's most popular digital effects. The XP100 whammy wah features classic wahs, whammy, and harmony effects. The XP200 modulator offers modulation effects, including rotary speaker stimulator, chorus, flanger, phaser, and tremolo. The XP300 space station, this is the one I'm curious about. What does a space station do? It offers special effects, including string pod swell and reverse playback. Okay, that's two interesting things. String pad swell. What did I say there? String pod swell? String pad swell. That's pretty cool, actually. That's interesting. I was going to say, what else you got? You only got 2 effects on there, but I bet that thing does a bunch of really cool stuff. And the XP400 reverberator, that offers numerous reverbs, including Hall, reverse, plate, and spring tank. With this many features under the hood, the XP series is quite unique with an equally unique low price tag. I used to love these ads because a lot of times they would tell you the price right on them too, but there's no price for these. I think these were like $200. You can get those things on eBay still. I love old vintage gear like that, but the only problem is it's kind of a waste of money because if you have better, more modern gear, it sounds better. You don't really end up playing with that old stuff. So unless you like to just look at it, which it's very fun to look at. Epiphone 2-page ad here for their acoustics. The Epiphone difference is as clear as a bell. Okay. Got Laney amps. I remember Laney amps. 3 to get ready. The buzz starts here. So Marcy Playground. Everybody remembers Sex and Candy. I think they had a couple songs that were popular back then. Matthew Ryan. No idea who that is. Michelle Malone. I wonder if they're still doing music. Quick edit. I just looked both of them up. They're definitely both very active in the music industry still. So Michelle Malone actually is super... she's worked with everybody. So I can't believe I don't know who she is. But anyways, let's carry on. And here is like the top stuff for the whole year. The Reader's Choice Awards. So... the best rock guitarist. I remember when this would come out every year was pretty much the same guys in the lineup every year. Dimebag would win 1 or 2 things. Eddie Van Halen would win 1 or 2 things. Kirk Hammett would win 1 or 2 things. Dave Mustaine would win a thing or 2. It would always be the same guys, but, you know, mixed around in different categories. So this is obviously voted on by the readers of Guitar World. Best rock guitarist, Dimebag Darrell. Last we caught up with Dime. He was throwing beer at the VIP seats, making the cover of the magazine. I skipped a line. Okay, let me start that over. Last time we caught up with Dime, he was throwing beer at the VIP seats from a New York stage. But believe it or not, it takes more than that to make the cover of this magazine. The guitar readers who voted him number 1 in rock are in good company with the millions. Literally millions who buy Pantera's albums and concert tickets every year. If you're put off by Dimebag's grime or grimace, you still owe it to yourself a close listen to this master of the metal genre. Right on Dime's heels in our poll was Dream Theater's John Petrucci, and not far behind John, Evergreen Joe Satriani. So this is still when Dimebag was alive. What year was he assassinated? That's like one of the legends. Who knows what he'd be doing these days. He was a prolific guitar player. So he was killed in 2004. So yeah, he was still alive when this came out. Best all-time guitarist, Jimi Hendrix. Wow, that's cool. All right. Maybe it's time we hang this category up. Undisputed heavyweight champ, Jimi Hendrix takes the title again. Wow, see, I put Eddie Van Halen as best all-time guitarist. But hey, if contenders Stevie Ray Vaughan or Eddie Van Halen stood any chance in the ring, the release of Hendrix' South Saturn Delta knocked them back to 2nd and 3rd place respectively, and of course, respectively. To me, it's EVH, but by 98, he had put out his whole catalog that I'm going to really go in, that I really love. Best band, we got Dream Theater. John Petrucci's Hand barely had Fallen to Infinity out of the box. What? John Petrucci's Band. Wow. Terrible reading. John Petrucci's Band barely had Falling into Infinity out of the box when our poll hit the stands, and judging by the votes, you've missed them bad. With the good fortune of a new Dream Theater album and tour, prog fans can safely come off life support. Metallica fans who sent their boys to the top in last year's poll reloaded the ballot box to get them second place this time around, while millions of Pantera fans earned their band an honorable third place. Best Guitar Album, G3 live in concert. So who was the G3 this year? We had Eric Johnson, Joe Satriani, and Steve Vai. Very awesome. Second and third place slots were filled by Dream Theater's Falling Into Infinity and Metallica's Reload. So Reload, third best guitar album. Interesting. For 1990, I guess 1997. These are going off the previous year, yeah. Most overlooked guitarist. We got Chip Z. Nuff. Billy Zoom, me. The submissions in this category were too numerous and too varied to make a call for first place. Everybody gave everybody a look over for the most overlooked guitarist this past year. Evidence of our unimpeachable editorial and ethical standards is that no one in Guitar's editorial staff took first prize, though we assure you we did receive at least one vote each. Best new guitarist, Johnny Lang. Lie to Me, man. That song, so good. I love that. The video for that song. He's walking through a guitar shop with the hit single Lie to Me and an album's worth of backup. Johnny Lang countered the criticism that you can't play the blues without a beard and completely swept our poll as best new guitarist. That's cool. Favorite style other than rock? People like blues. I got a feeling these days, if they did this poll in Guitar World, it's going to be metal. Metal would probably beat out blues, I'm pretty sure, with the most of the modern day guitar players, especially the guys who read these magazines. Best guitarist next year, Eddie Van Halen. Ooh, okay. Everyone's been waiting for Eddie to peek out from behind the doors of his 5150 studio and lay some new VH on us. We'll be on standby till we see how vocalist Gary Schroen gets with the war-worn Van Halen rhythm section, but readers seem assured Ed could create an exciting guitar album if he had Liberace on vocals. With the response to Metallica's Reload just warming up as we went to press, Kirk Hammett took second on this one with a third vote of confidence that Kenny Wayne Shepherd will continue to develop as a player in '98, which he definitely did. So this is before Van Halen's third album came out. Van Halen 3 came out. So people were excited waiting for that, and I don't want to say it was a flop because it was cool and all, but it was kind of their sane anger. Like, I think it's only for, I wouldn't even say the hardcores, it's beyond the hardcores, people who like Van Halen 3. Although, when you listen to it, it is a pretty good album, and he did some really cool stuff on it too, like the hit, or the single Without You, did some really interesting whammy stuff on it. I thought it was kind of cool. Best non-rock guitarist went to B.B. King. Favorite guitar and amp, Fender guitars, Marshall amp. Got a feeling that would change. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the masses would still go for Fender guitars. But I feel like it would be a lot more split up. I think a lot less people are playing Fenders these days than they used to. There's a lot of more cool boutique brands of amps out there too. So Marshall, that could still win. But I'm seeing less and less Marshall guys these days. I'm old school. I still love the Marshalls. So I got the 7 ways to break out of the blues. Lesson 1, get some new rhythm. Lesson 2, sing what you play what you sing. Lesson 3, don't just play it, bend it. And I love all the little examples they always put in there. PV amps. PV amps were so awesome in the 90s. You have to turn your whole magazine sideways because they did one of those sideways articles or advertisements. The Rage 158, the Envoy 110. I remember those amps. The Blazer. The Bandit. PV was like my first amp love. My buddy who got me wanting to play guitar, his dad had a PV half stack. It was called the Butcher, the model, and it was killer looking. PV half stack. It says limit yourself, repeat yourself, use dynamics, swing low. Lots of little blues examples in here. Roland digital workstation. The VS840 digital studio workstation. This is before people were recording on the computers, really. A complete CD quality 8-track digital recording studio at an extremely affordable price. This is not before people were recording on computers, by the way. Pro Tools was out in the 90s. But yeah, this is like when digital recorders were starting to get pretty pretty good. People had CD burners in them. They probably had like MP3, maybe SD cards in them. I used to use these kinds of cool little things. There's Petrucci with an Ibanez. That's how you know it's 1998. He's playing that sweet guitar. So he counts down his 10 most important albums in his collection. Let's check these out. So he's got Dixie Dregs, Night of the Living Dregs. Man, I should look these up and check these out because I don't know that album. Let's see if there's more that I don't know. Diary of a Madman from Ozzy Osbourne. Killer album. I like Blizzard of Oz a little bit better myself, but both of them are excellent albums, back to back. Awesome. Can't Stand the Weather, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. Yeah, that's one I should check out. I don't really know Stevie Ray Vaughan that well. I mean, I know like the ones you hear on the radio or whatever, but Hemispheres from Rush, killer album. I concur with that. Peace of Mind from Iron Maiden. Love myself some Maiden. Haven't listened to Maiden in a while. I should put on some Maiden soon. Master of Puppets from Metallica. Of course, that's one of my top albums, of course. Led Zeppelin 4 is great. I think I prefer 2 and 3 a little more, but 4 is awesome. Casino from Al Di how do you say his name? Miola. Al Di Meola. Is he a classical? And he's a jazz. So I was at a party hanging with some older guys that were more into jazz and fusion type stuff. And I remember one guy saying, dude, you got to break away from that rock crap. Here, he said, and played Casino for me, and I was just blown away. I couldn't believe the kind of technical ability Al Di Meola had on acoustic guitar. I never heard anybody play like that before. I had to slow down the album to half speed on my turntable in order to learn how to play the parts. I would play those runs over and over, trying to nail them. Each day I would come back and try it again. It took me forever to get it right. Yeah, I got to look that album up too. So this one, Dixie Dregs, and Al Di Meola. I'll look up the Stevie Ray Vaughan album. I'll listen to all these. Fragile from Yes. I'm not familiar with this album, so I got to check that out. Rising Force from Yngwie, of course. We all know Yngwie. Teach Yourself guitar magazines and lessons and VHS. And they probably don't have DVDs. 1998? Maybe they had DVDs. But, yeah, these I used to like looking at these. You can get the lead guitar one. You can get the lead guitar licks. Lead guitar, the full magazine, I guess. Oh, I think I had one of these ones when I first started. No, not Progressive Guitar Method. I didn't have that. I had something that looked like that, I guess. So what is this? The Sunshine Scene. Bands like Sister Hazel, Matchbox 20, and Creed are putting Florida's music on the map. Oh, Creed's from Florida? I should have known. Matchbox 20, hey, they're cool. Sister Hazel, I can't remember which one Sister Hazel is, but I do remember the name for sure. That's super 90s. Play killer guitar. I love these kinds of ads. Are these companies still around? What is this thing? Mutron envelope controlled filter tuned for guitar and bass. The original. Look at this crazy thing. Is that still around? Does anybody use this still? That thing looks crazy. It's got a little tuning fork on it. EMG selling this little pre-wired pick guard here, the KH20 as used by Kirk Hammett. Hardly ever used by him. They should have did the one with the 281s. Oh, I used to love this too. Dean. The Explorers, the Explorer, and the Star ML. Bass even. V, guitar. Yeah, that's like everything right there. And then they got like a mini Explorer right there. Yeah, the ads were like half of the magazine when I was first becoming a guitar player. Tascam, I used to like Tascam. So this is their like bad digital, bad mamma jamma. 5 takes per track. Oh, so you can have like 5 takes banked per track? Really? Imagine the perfect solo. Only the 564 gives you 5 takes per track to create it. With auto punch, you can set frame accurate punch in and out points. Even do hand-free punch. Oh, that's cool. To rehearse, just repeat between any 2 index markers for continuous playback. I love this techie stuff like this because I used to use these kinds of things, and it's so funny to hear the stats because like I get excited about this. Like actually in the moment I'm like hearing it and I'm like, ooh, you could do 5 takes for real? We have unlimited takes with the digital recording setups we have now. You could do 1 billion takes if you want, as long as your hard drive has enough space, and it probably does with today's multi-terabyte hard drives. So it says only the 564 lets you choose from 0 to 9.9 seconds between repeats. Like that kind of stuff right there is hilarious. I love that. The best mixer section in mini disc multi-track. It's a mini disc recorder. That sucks. The mini disc died. My buddy actually got one, and he had like a bunch of them. He made like little mini discs. He put like albums on mini discs, but then no one else got one, and then it just turned out to be one of those things that he had in his drawer that he could pull out once in a while to show people and be like, check it out. Ever seen a mini disc player? And people were like, oh my God, I remember those. So here we have the Dimebag article. This is my favorite of his guitars. The camo, ML. He's got maybe a Bill Lawrence. Is that what that is in there? A 59 or something in the neck maybe. Hundreds of you guitar faithful exercised your right to vote for the six stringer worthy of the coveted 1997 Reader's Choice Award for Best Rock Guitarist. Well, the dust has settled, and the fat lady is singing the high praises of Dimebag Darrell, a.k.a. Dimebag Darrell, guitarist for metal's reigning kings Pantera. Dime beat out seasoned veterans, flavor of the month contenders, and a batch of legends to boot. Hell yeah, Dime. Giving Dime his due, the method behind Pantera's metal maniac. He's such a maniac. Look at that guy. He actually was. He's pretty badass. Chugging beers on stage, smoking weed. True rebel. Wearing camo, pink goatee. He has a leather thing on his wrist. Trend kill. That's a badass guitar. That's the Dimebag guitar I want. I really like the Lightning one too, of course, but this one is just too dope. First of all, congratulations. So they had an interview with him after he won. How long is this? It continues later in the magazine. They used to do this thing where the article would end. Okay, yeah, see, like right here it says continued on page 59. So then you got to go like halfway through the magazine. They always did that. Find page 59. I'm not going to read the whole interview, but we'll start with the first few of them. So thanks a lot. Congratulations on winning the award. Thanks a lot, bro. I'm thrilled that I got voted number 1. That's fucking awesome. I attribute that to the fans passing the energy back to me, you know? Sure. Were you one of those fans that read guitar mags cover to cover? You damn right I was. I bet it's a trip to see success from the other side now. Yeah, what a trip. I haven't really had time to sit down and truly scope on it, though. You know, once we took off from Cowboys from Hell, we haven't really taken a break. It's just been one thing after another. By the way, I don't think he really sounds like a WWE wrestler, but that's just the voice I'm using. In the tradition of all great metal acts, it's just about the music and the fans. In that sense, metal really is one of the true American forms of music. By the way, for the people, do you agree? Dude, I'm glad you realized that. That's something I definitely put a lot of pride and heart into, making music for our fans. We're not trying to blow it up for everyone to like it. It's something that we all share, like the jam of the Metal Fest, you know? It's more than just something to listen to. It's a whole feeling and a drive behind living. We are the true defenders of the faith, man, and that ain't gonna change. I saw over here, he asked him something about Eruption. So they're talking about vibrato and whammy bars. You've got a wicked vibrato. Can you describe how you do it? Wow, I've drank way too much coffee today. Can you describe how you do it? Oh wow, I never really thought about it like that. Well, let me try to explain it this way. You know how you can wrap your thumb around the back of the neck? Well, sometimes when you do that, your fingers yank the strings down as if they're going to go right off the fretboard. You got to find the right notes that you can pull down, and then you got to find the ones that you can push up, you know? And there's the vibrato bar. What got you into using the Wang bar in the first place? The Wang bar? I never heard anybody call it that before. Well, my dad took my guitar down to the shop for one of my birthdays and almost insisted on getting me one. I always had one because of Eddie Van Halen, but I didn't have a Floyd Rose. those had just come out at the time. I didn't know if it was going to fuck up my guitar or what. It was kind of bizarre to see my Dean ML with the fucking whammy bar on it. Anyway, I got the thing and it was a blast, man. It was all downhill from there. What songs did you first learn trying to master the Floyd Rose? Shit like Eddie Van Halen's Eruption. Then I've been experimenting with harmonics. Those two things go hand in hand, if you ask me. A fucking whammy bar and fucking harmonics, you know? Tell me about how you get your harmonics. Well, I explored a lot of harmonics up in the 2nd and 3rd fret area. There's like 5 real nice ones there. I've always loved to listen to a great singer sing out and sing a melody, you know? And that was my way of doing it on the guitar. By the way, if you've ever listened to Van Halen's Pound Cake, he hit some killer harmonics up in, I don't know if any are in the first 2 or 3 frets, but yeah, I do agree. There's some killer harmonics in the 2. They're like in weird spots. They're not on the 2nd and 3rd frets. It's like 2.3 in that like spot right there. Can you offer some tips on how to get killer harmonics while using the Wang bar? Sure. Say you're on the G string 3rd fret. Wrap your thumb over the bottom 3 strings so it's muted a little bit. Then pop your 2nd finger off the G down to where it covers the E and B strings. Then drop the bar down. Barely touch it right over the 3rd fret one time and let your hands off the strings and bring it back up to pinch. I've seen Matt Prosser. If you guys know Matt Prosser on Instagram, he makes loops. And he's a cool dude. He's been on the Guitar Guts podcast in the past. He does a great example of this and has shown how Dimebag does this. He does maybe one of the best guys I've ever seen do it other than Dimebag. Good insight into that. That's one of Dimebag's coolest, most unique techniques. You know, the end of Cemetery Gates. Look at him doing this cool face. He's a monster. Okay. RP7. So we got another Digitech ad here. This thing is so cool. What does it have? A tube in it? Rich tones have never been more affordable. And the RP7 delivers them in a powerful, easy-to-use package. When I was young, I saw this. All the Digitech stuff I thought was so cool. And this right here, I wanted this thing so bad. At the heart of the RP7 is a 12AX7 tube, which delivers 4 separate tube voicings, more than enough flexibility for any guitarist needs. This is in addition to 4 more solid-state distortions for a total of 8 great preamps sounds to work with. Wow. Yeah, these were, to me, so cool at the time. There we got Dimebag. Continued. There's this Confederate flag guitar. I wonder if he'd be getting crap for that today if he was still playing that. I wonder if he would retire it. He doesn't seem like a guy who would roll over for, you know, to be proper or whatever, but also, you know, I don't know what his viewpoint would be on that. Here he is here, a couple more pictures of him, old. This is the interview continued. You've got one of the crunchiest, most distinctive tones in metal. Does everything in your signal path contribute to that? He says everything from the guitar through the fingers playing it to the shit you run through to the amp. Hell yeah. He's so raw, huh? Old Blue Steel ad. Learn the art of recording. Go to recording school. The Recording Workshop. Is that place still around? You can get a free brochure. You guys should call 1-800-848-9900. Find out if you can get a brochure still. West LA Music. Guaranteed lowest prices. So they sell, it's just like a store, Santa Monica Boulevard. Pretty sure that's not there anymore, but maybe they are. I don't know. Joe Satriani for D'Addario. Overcoming rackophobia, because rack effects were like huge in the 90s, so people, I guess some people were intimidated by that or something. There's this dude from Fear Factory around still. He's killing it still. What's he playing? Is Ibanez there? Was that Dino, right? Yeah. I always see that guy around. He's a old schooler, I guess, now. The Boomerang Sampler. Remember that? Carvin. Look at that's Kiesel now. This is back before it became Kiesel, and it was Carvin, and they were making beautiful stuff. But notice it's not like over the top, like just like the PRS we saw earlier. Now what's cool is to have like super flashy colors, quilted maple tops, like bindings, like super gaudy, crazy guitars, like the kind I love. And even keys all carving back then, they're just kind of all wood grain, red, very neutral tones. Who's this? This is a LA Music Academy Linda Taylor guitar instructor. So you used to be able to just advertise your guitar. I wonder how much business that would get someone like that. The Qtron. I'm pretty sure that thing's still around. I've seen that a lot. I used to love these. You get like posters and t-shirts. Go through all the time. They would change it up too, and like every month they would have this in there, but it'd be different. So like you could see, here's the Metallica ones. I always go over there. Find the Tool ones, Sublime. This is kind of like Hot Topic before it was Hot Topic, when it was still cool. Like all these are cool bands. Got Pearl Jam, Rush, Jimi Hendrix, Maiden. They have like stickers, just shot glasses, performance notes. So this would like teach you little tips. So as you go through all the tabs, now we're at the section, there's gonna be like a huge chunk here. I wonder what it says for some of these. So Burning My Soul, you have to admit Dream Theater's Resolve. These would like give you like tips. So when you learn the song from the tab, it gives you like little tips and like watch out for this part when you're gonna do these things. Like you'll see it here. You have to admire Dream Theater's resolve. Throughout the grunge and post-grunge years, they've maintained a commitment to sophisticated composition and finely tuned finely tuned chops that is certainly commendable. That dedication shows no sign of flagging here. Although the song contains no guitar solo, the playing of keyboardist Derek Sherinian is so guitaristic in nature that we've transcribed his synth solo in its entirety. That's pretty cool. There's a lot to be gained from the careful study of this solo, while the numerous pitch bends, trills, and pseudo harmonics simulate the sound of the guitar. His phrases often move in directions that few guitarists would consider. The result is a wealth of ideas for anyone looking to escape the rut of tired and cliched patterns. That's cool. The Memory Remains. That's off Reload. Vocals by James Hetfield and Marianne Faithfull. That's that creepy voice that you hear at the end. Who would have thunk? It's clear Metallica continues to chart their own course, mystifying many of their hardcore fans with the slower tempos and eclectic influences evidenced in this first single from their latest album, Reload. While the tempo marking may indicate a sprightly 148, the drums pound out a deliberate halftime feel throughout, giving the song a somber, dirge-like quality. The intro kicks off with the familiar sound of power chords and palm muted open strings, but as the drums enter in bar 5, the medium becomes a bit more diffuse. So, got tabs here. I probably learned the solo to Memory Remains from this book. And then here's like, if you want to spend less on ads, you get like these weird black and white ads back here. That's like, the paper even changes. It changes to like phone book paper for the tab section. And then it's like nice gloss paper for the rest of the magazine. So like, I used to be in journalism class, and we would have to sell ads. Everybody in the class would have to like get like a couple people to buy ads that would be in here. And it'd be like $25. It'd be pretty easy to do. Like you call up local businesses and stuff. And I'm pretty sure World Music, my local guitar shop, I'm pretty sure they did it. Put their ad in there. But yeah, I remember that the black and white ads cost less. So this is like the smaller companies. A lot of weird, look at this one's like video games and stuff. You can buy like cases to hold your old Guitar World magazines in them. Buy old back issues. Here we got like, I think these are the, here we got Marty Friedman's monthly column here. He'd give you some instructions. It's basically just like a little lesson every month. Oh, Gibson used to make posters. This is like a Gibson ad. I had this dude on my wall. I didn't even know who he was. But this right here, exact thing right here, I had that as like a huge poster. I used to get like all the Gibson posters from the local guitar shop, and he was on one of them, and I knew he was a snowboarder, but that's all I knew. And he played the double cutaway Les Paul, which I'm not a big fan of, but that's cool. Old back issues. You can buy 5 for $25. I wonder if you can still buy them directly from them like that. Old school, look at this. Old school, you'd write down the quantity that you wanted, the title, the order number, and the price. Then you'd like add it all up. And then you'd have to add shipping and handling, return shipping and handling here. Write that in there. Then you'd have to add like tax for certain states. Then you'd have to tell them your credit card number, write all that in here, or include a check, and then mail this into them. How long does it take to get them? Probably takes like 6 months to get them too. Everything was like that. There was like, sometimes you'd get cereal, and in the cereal would be toys. And then later on, they stopped including the toys every time, and they would be like, mail these like things in, and you can get the toy. And the toy would be like delivered in 4 to 6 months or like 24 weeks. Sometimes it's like you'd forget about it. You'd be older by the time it came. You're like, I'm not even into that anymore. Gear Factory old gear reviews. Got a little Laney amp. We got this crazy DOD pedal. Do they have like a little thing at the end that's like, here's the bottom line? No, not really. Yeah, that thing looks very dated. That's really cool though. Preamp. Pick Boy. I loved Pick Boy picks. They were like premium picks. They were like 75 cents each, or $1.25 each, or something crazy. At the time, that seemed like a lot because you'd want to buy a bunch, but then you only had like $2 when you were a kid, so you could buy like one. But yeah, I remember they were in like a special case. They even smelled good when you opened the case. They were at my guitar shop. It was like up on the counter on the top. All the rest of the picks were like down below, and like I would see the Tortex, and they were like chalky looking, which I like the chalky kind of picks now, but Pick Boys were like smooth and glossy, which it's harder to grip. But some of them have holes in them or bumps. Pick Boy. I wonder if Pick Boy's still around. How many of these companies are still around? Test your IQ. What was that? What's your tone IQ? Oh. Generally, guitarists seek a tone that can be described as fat, thin, somewhere in the middle, or nasally. That's hilarious. It's best to plug your acoustic electric guitar into a regular electric guitar amp, acoustic guitar amp, 4 Marshall stacks cranked to oblivion, or a PA system/mixer. These are pretty funny. The secret of Jimi Hendrix's tone was a righty strat, flipped lefty, special fuzz face, fuzz box, Octavia pedal, wall of Marshall amps. That's interesting. I would say it's the Strat and the Marshall. That's almost a trick question there. I don't like that. That's one of those ones that I would like pick one, and then the teacher's like, well, it's more this one than like the tone doesn't come from a righty Strat flipped lefty. It comes from the fact that it's a Strat in the first place. So it's like being too specific. I don't know. Anyways, I spent too much time thinking about that just now. Reamping, reversing the flow tape to amp. So this teaches you, this is the early reamping. That's cool. DI box into the amp. Home recording magazine. This would always teach you, like, if you have these pedals, set them like that, and you can get the tones of the songs. Tracks. Oh, cool. So they got Metallica in here for Reload. They give the performance rock solid with a well-paced minimum of artiness. Hot spots. Where the wild things are, the memory remains. Low man's lyric, attitude. Oh, that's their take, huh? They didn't think fuel. That's cool. Low man's lyric is awesome. I mean, I love Reload. Since I said, this is like when I was first starting to play guitar. I think I started playing when I was 10. So like I'm like a year or less in at this point probably. Or maybe around there. And I remember getting Reload. That's like when that came out when I was into Metallica already, and the whole album was so good. I thought I loved Load too, though. So a lot of people don't like those ones. The Verve, Jane's Addiction, Dave Matthews Band. We've got this thing. What is that? Is that a capo? It looks like a The Bird of Paradise capo. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, performer stands like James Hetfield. You can get the acoustic guitar mount. Actually, I've been kind of wanting one of those, but I haven't found them online. I wonder if that company's still around. West Hills, California. That's like right over the hill from here. Recording arts. Metal Method. Is the Michelangelo one in here? Michelangelo's Speed Kills. And No Boundaries. Oh, if I would have known... I didn't know about those when I was young. If I would have known about them, I would have definitely picked those up. That's so cool. I would love looking at these at the back. I wanted all those Van Halen ones. And that's about it. Samson ad on the back. So, I look back through February 1998 Guitar Magazine. I think Guitar might have been my favorite over even Guitar World back then. But I think now Guitar World is definitely number one. I don't know if Guitar is even around. So, man, that was fun. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comments down below. I got these other really cool ones here, and I'll go through these ones in the future. Let me know what you guys enjoyed about it and what you didn't, and I'll change up how I do it next time. I think I thought of a couple things during this that I'm going to do a little different for the next one, so... I'm also going to get a little bit better camera for the next one so you could see in detail, closer up some of these articles and pictures and stuff like that, but it's not too bad, so I figured we'd go with it for this one. But I still have my other favorite ones, the ones with Kirk Hammett and some of my old Van Halen ones. I have a bunch of old Metallica ones, so we'll be going through all those. I got some other Dimebag ones. I got a bunch of Dream Theater ones. I mean, I subscribed for a long time, so thank you guys for watching. Remember, if you want to be in the drawing to win the Ibanez Proline V, the Crackle one, it's actually right next to me here. Here, check this out. That bad boy right there. That one, the drawing is going to be June 15th, so 10 days from now. We're going to be doing a drawing. Somebody on my Patreon CEO tier, it's $10 a month. Someone's going to win that guitar. I have 4 guitars up there that I think... At least 3 of these, but then there's a 4th one, the Crackle Kelly, that I'm going to be doing 1 giveaway per month. So June 15th, the Ibanez Proline V. July 15th, I think we're going to go with the Rhodes, the teal and purple striped Rhodes that's up there. They both have, all these have EMG pickups, all solid parts, Goto tuners and stuff on them. August is going to be the Crackle Kelly. September is probably going to be the Roswell. So it's $10 a month. If you don't win 1 month, wait till next month. There's going to be another drawing. I'm going to keep building custom guitars that are really cool like this, and I'm even going to start posting some polls so you guys can help me decide how to customize some of them that are going to be given away. So if I'm going to be giving them away, I want to build the things that you guys want, of course. $10 a month, you're automatically entered into the drawing every month, and you can have a chance to win a guitar valued at over $1,000. By the way, I was going to include this one at some point, the Stealth Charvel. I can't believe it. It surprised me. I looked down. I got a notification. It sold today. So it's been up for sale for probably 5 months. No, probably 3 months or something like that. But yeah, somebody swooped it up today. So congratulations to the buyer. So that one's going to be heading out. But I got another one that I actually am working on. I don't know if you could see it from here. Where is it? Oh, it's over on my stand. You can see there's a couple Frankenstrats, and one of them's purple and one of them's a Stealth. So the purple one, I might even throw a new clear coat on and then include that, the purple and blue Frankenstrat that I have. So stay tuned, guys. More giveaways over on the Patreon, $10 a month, and you're entered in automatically to win a guitar. And it helps support my channel, Guitar Guts, all that stuff, and Trash to Thrash. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you very soon. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Hit the subscribe button. Rock on, my friends.